While our promotion from Ligue brought a lot of attention onto Paris 13 Atletico, that wasn't just on the football side of things. Gulf states, venture capitalists, and even social media stars wanted to invest. Instead, businessman Owen Harkness, who's made his money from selling weapons to Middle Eastern countries, was not game. The man loved two things: weapons, obviously, and the money to be made from football. So he came in and took over the club. Despite the takeover, our budgets stayed the same, so signing good players proved to be a real challenge. So I went bold.
I'm gonna go bold.
17-year-old Ahmed Ekra came in for 190k from the talent factory of ASEC Mimosas, and he'll be our starting goalie. At right back we've got Genesis Antwi on loan from Chelsea, and at centre back Ibrahim Assise and Sam Domenico Kubi came in to rotate with each other alongside Marvel. We also signed a new left back in Yusi, a former Real Madrid academy player, for 150k from a Moroccan side. And before we could make any more transfers, the Australian League decided to go nuts on our players. So we sold Lane for 400k, Obaretin for 425 and Ebonog for 230 to A-League sides. And also Kamara for 50k, Badiashile for 85 and Salah for 115 to different teams. And with that money we brought in Siddiqui Sharif for 1 million, moving up to 2.8 from Algiers, Ibrahim Toumi for 400k, moving up to 3.1 million from Sochaux, as well as a couple more experienced players in Halal, Traore and Mendes. And we also brought Noel Amadi back to the club. But the biggest name we signed is without a doubt Magnus Achilles, who was just rotting in the Monaco reserves, so he was more than happy to join us on loan. We did also try to sign Lauar from Monaco, but he wanted to rot on their bench instead. It might have something to do with our training facilities. Our journey with the French elite started against Toulouse in front of the packed out Stade Pelé, which isn't difficult. I mean, there's only 995 seats. But that would actually change in the near future, as the new board had agreed to build a new stadium with a capacity of 10,000. Make sure to give me your stadium name suggestions down below. But back to our Ligue 1 debut, it began terribly, as Emre Moore of all players scored with his thunderous finish to give them the lead 15 minutes in. And after Mendes had missed this sitter, Maja scored to double Toulouse's lead. And Traore topped it off by missing this sitter. So we lose 2-0 when it really should have been us scoring 2, not them. Our nightmare start continued, as we lost the next 3 games as well. 3-0 against Marseille, 2-0 against Lyon, and 1-0 against Lens. And in between those games, Antwi tore his hamstring and is out for 2 months.
Wow. Woo! Bravo, you fucking idiot!
But against Lorient, who were right down there with us, we turned it around. Yusi played it down the left to Sharif, who squared it for Hilal to tap in to get our first ever goal in Ligue 1. And also our first win. That win gave us the confidence to actually play some decent football. 6 minutes in against Brest, Abdallah had a throw-in by their corner flag. And after a brilliant passing move, Uche banged it into the net. They didn't score this mess of a goal to equalize. But we scored again. This time Cervantes got a header from Diop's cross, and we get our second win of the season. Now it's time for the reason we started this journey. PSG. We're away at the Parc des Princes for an epic battle. Yeah, we lost 4-0. Our first half wasn't actually that bad, as we only conceded once to Gonçalo Ramos. But then Kolomouani, Hakimi and Serre Emery scored 1 each in the second half. We just collapsed.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
But against league leaders Lille, we somehow managed to take the lead 34 seconds in. We then put away 2 more before the break, as Sharif and Achilles scored 1 each. Lille only managed to score once, so we somehow win 3-1 against the league leaders. Against Auxerre in the 9th league game, we went 2-0 down in the opening 15 minutes. But we managed to bring it back, as Sharif and Toumi ×2 scored to make it 3-2. In the 86th though, Sinayoko scored this header to equalize. But we refused to give up, and Diop scored with this great finish in the 93rd. But the highlight straight from kickoff would mean Auxerre would equalize just seconds later. So a 4-4 draw in a crazy game.
What just happened?
The next game we were very clinical, as 5 different goal scorers in Cisse, Achilles, Sharif, Jeanne and Traoré got our 5 goals in a 5-2 win over Montpellier. After a tough start with 4 losses in a row, we bounced back brilliantly and are in 9th. The board has also finally agreed to improve the training and youth facilities, so life is good at Paris 13 Atletico at the moment. We continued our bounce back with a great team performance as we won 3-2 against Strasbourg despite Sheriff getting sent off. But our luck started to run out at this point, as we lost 1-0 against Nice and 3-1 against Rennes, all while our players started dropping like flies. Cisse and Okubi both got injured. We did get a win again though, against last place Saint-Étienne. Marvel, Bututau and Cisse got our goals, and Ekra got a penalty save. But against Monaco in the next game, exactly Ekra got injured 4 minutes in, and he's out for 6 to 7 weeks.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
We lost the game 1-0 and our backup, who isn't really good enough to be a backup, Laurent Don, will have to play while Ekra's out. And that injury meant we only managed a 1-1 draw against Paris FC and a 3-1 loss to Reims. So halfway we're in 11th. It's actually a lot better than I thought it would be, so I am happy. But we still need to strengthen the squad, so we brought in a lot of players actually. Obviously a new backup goalie in Ronwen Williams, a new backup right back in Lindano Sencho, as well as a backup left back in Vali Konate, and also a new centre back on loan from Marseille in Bamo Maite. And the final 2 signings were 2 brilliant Nigerian youngsters, from Plateau United and Remo Stars respectively. Jude Wahab and Usman Okpe came in for a combined fee of just under 1.5 million and will hopefully bring the African flair to the club. The troubling run of games continued. We lost 2-0 to Toulouse and somehow 1-0 to Valenciennes in the Coupe de France, so we're out in the first round we played in. We then drew 1-1 with Lens, before losing 1-0 to Lorient in a dull game. Another draw followed, against Brest this time, before hosting PSG at Stade Palais. They'll finally get to experience the hostile atmosphere our 995 crazy fans make. They obviously dominated the game, but we somehow managed to hold on. Kvaratskhelia hit the bar from a free kick, before Jeanne conceded a pen. But Ekra saved it. And after Asensio had hit the post and bar, the ref blew his whistle. We've drawn 0-0 against PSG. Away to Lille, we had another insane performance in Okpe's first game for the club, as he's been injured. Achilles opened the scoring with his great finish. Okpe then scored not 1 but 2 tap-ins to get a brace on his debut. And he capped it off with an assist to Toomey to make it a 4-1 win. Our loanee, Bamo Maite, decided to rob his parent club of 2 points as he scored to equalize in the 96th, so we draw 1-1 with Marseille as well, before smashing Auxerre. Their goalie, Sherif and Okpe scored our goals in a 3-0 win. And that means we're 12th with 9 games to go. We are kind of in no man's land though, as there's 12 points up to Europe and 12 points down to relegation, but I'll absolutely take it. After recently finding our form, we draw 1-1 against Montpellier before beating Strasbourg 1-0. Toomey missed a couple of huge chances, before finally scoring in the 69th. But our run of form stopped as we lost 2-1 against Nice in a bad collapse after leading the game. We then got a great draw against Rennes, who are fighting for second. But injuries started causing havoc at the club at this point, as Antwi, Jane and Marvel all got injuries. That didn't stop us though, as we smashed Saint-Étienne 3-0 with Okpe, Sharif and Achilles getting our goals. So after 30 games, we're in 11th, and we've officially secured our place in Ligue for next season, which obviously was the goal, and I'm very happy with that.
I feel very good.
The final 4 games, we lose 3-0 to Monaco, win against both Paris FC and Reims, and finally draw with Lyon. With our place in Ligue secured, fans wanting MacLeod to stay permanently, and a new contract for the old man walking with a cane, PSG, we're coming to get you. And nothing seems to be able to stop us.